Okay, now I'm saying some things. Filters, got that all set. Close. Alright, so I guess I'm live, and oh yeah, you know, here we are. So we have to do something very important. First of all, let's just demonstrate that I have a cyan layer in here. But before let's put that back up and, oh, I'm sorry, let's see. That's no good. So I want the finished ink to be outside, I guess, so that I can, this has to be set for through. Some of these things I do for the sake of live streaming, if that makes any sense. Probably just like unconsciously doing little things that I wouldn't bother doing if I wasn't live streaming, but being able to do that is one of them. Like, I don't need to be able to do it that way, but here we have a problem here, and isn't it funny that since we have our ink layer and there's nothing in here, we seem to have made a misspelling here. But one of the easiest ways to fix that is to just use this. I'm going to copy paste, and then I'm going to go to that layer that just got copy pasted, and I'm going to use my move tool and for some reason that got copied as well. That shouldn't happen. Not sure how. Oh, because I had it selected as well. Traveler. So now we take this and we push this back over here. Whoops. Get up. Oops. Make sure we're on the right layer and push that over here. There. Now I take finished ink and I drop it. X. And now we're back to finished ink with a no more, what do you call that? Typo? Spelling error? Now, we're going to go here, and we're going to go into our blue layer. We're going to go on the black layer. It doesn't matter what layer we're actually on, because what we're going to do is just start cutting this guy out. I'm going to make sure this is set for add. I'm going to move this out of the way. When you make a mistake, you want to make sure you erase that mistake. Make sure I am in add. Guess I better get closer. Keep going here. Not the most exciting thing, but it must be done. I'm not even sure if it must be done. I'm going to try and do something I already did. Move this. done, we'll see if it was worth doing a second time. You might see little flaws in the work, but those flaws are A, desired, because I don't want this to look perfect, and B, not necessarily going to be noticeable anyway. This is, of course, zoomed in much more than anyone will actually ever see this image. Unless they use a magnifying glass, and then it might look something like this, I suppose. Undo. Nitpicking some of this. It's not going to matter really. Whoops. Alright, I think we got them all selected. So that's the horse. So now what we'll do is, just in case we lose our work, we're going to use our selection launcher to convert to selection layer. Now it's green. Now let's see. If I make another selection, can I add to mask, convert to selection? I don't want to do that. So I'm just going to test something here. So I'm going to convert to selection, and then when I do that, I should be able to drop this. And I believe I just dropped it, which is exactly what I want to achieve. So now we take this how do I get rid of I know how. We select it and we get rid of it. It's all the same. It's really quite efficient. So now we're going to, the only thing I should be able to punch right into the selection layer. I think, watch, I think I know how to do that. Let's, oh, I already painted him black. Let's get rid of his black. Move the selection launcher out of my way. Let's see, why does that look like that? We want it to look more like that. Now, what we have to do is very quickly make this part of the selection layer, then drop that to the selection layer, delete. I could actually merge. Now, what I wanted to do was get into this blue, because one of the things I forgot to do was excise this. This is an important detail. That's got to go, and this has to go. Okay. Let's see what else has to go. I don't believe anything else has to go. This is already gone, obviously. That's already gone. Oh, right here. That had to go, and that's about the size of it. Obviously, these balloons have to go. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is do this creative one. And of course, I'm going to nitpick and worry about this. Let's get rid of that. I'm going to try something. Oh yeah, I don't want to get... Well, I'm going to try it anyway. Let's see. I'll never make it perfect. Okay, I'm going to keep it like that. So yeah, instead of doing the cutouts, we definitely gotta do these. These actually can be a lot easier to do if I get on my ink layer and go like that, and then change this to subtract, and then whoops. No, I don't want to subtract. I want to add. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab this and this. I'm going to scale it by 2, 3. I'm going to go here. Let's see. Nope, too much. I'm going to scale it by 1. Just 1. Alright, I can live with that. Select that. Select this one, select this one, select this one, select this one. Select this one, select this one, and this one. Alright, now I have to do a little game, and that is switch this tool, go to lasso, make sure it's set for subtract, or is it add? Yes, I'm sorry. I want to add all of this to the selection. I want to add all of this to the selection. I want to add all of this, as well as this, and this, and there's three more up here. Goodbye. Don't forget this one. This one. And finally, this one. Now that I've done all that, I can hit the delete button. Oops, let's make sure we're on the right layer. That's the wrong thing to delete. That's what we wanted to delete. Now, it's time to go back to the selection layer. I'm selecting specifically for the black layer. That's one of the things that's happening here. Got my lasso. I want to make sure it's, well, first we'll just select the hat here. Move that out of the way. Make sure it's set to add. You may hear a slight squeak. I do. That's my hand rubbing on the screen. I'll put my glove on. Okay, everybody? And I do mean everybody. Alright, there's black jacket, black hat, black horse, black shoe. It can't hurt to make the wagon black. Because, well, to prepare. Ooh. I think that's going a little overkill. That's easy enough fix to work with. Let's see. The wheels should be black. This is going to be a big rigmarole. Is there a faster way to do it? Probably. I mean, I could go to my magic wand tool, go to the finished ink, and go like this, and undo that, because no. So we're just going to have to continue. What we will do, though, is we'll use selection pen and make sure it's set for additive. And now we can just go in here and create our selection with this pen, which is a lot easier to work with in many ways. This is just going to continue to add to the selection. Got to be careful of what we're doing here. I mean, really, we don't want to get too hung up on details, so I truly don't want to get too hung up on details because, again, this comic is supposed to have a very hurried look about it. It's not supposed to be something that looks like amazing art. It's supposed to be crotchety, hurried. I suppose if you want to get really technical, honestly, this is supposed to look like something that was done by some very skilled artists, but not as if they have all the time in the world. They have to get it done on a monthly basis, right? Which is basically what your old school horror comics were. Most of those artists were extremely talented, but, they didn't have time to. They were not allowed time. I don't even think many of them, it wouldn't surprise me one bit, to find out that they weren't even excited about the project they were working on. Okay, let's see now. Oh, we mustn't forget the fact that we want a black coffin. Okay, now it's time to try, yeah, erase, so we just go like that. We don't want that. I'm getting a little too worried about the details here. But so be it. Alright, that's fine. Now let's get back to this. Let's do this. Oh, I'm doing subtraction. I want addition. Because I can do subtraction, I think I'll just... I'm not 100% sure then I'm going to color all the pages this way. I can certainly, the coloring style I'm using, I can certainly just do it much less. But what I am doing is I'm preparing for any changes I might want. If I want to change the coffin to, if I want to add a color to the coffin, I want to be able to select the coffin and color it rather than have to reselect it to color it. And I don't have to select anything to color anything. I can just color like normal people color. But we do have these tools where I can set this for, I can just have some memory going on here. If this doesn't make sense, it will make sense when I turn it into a selection layer, which is what I guess I'm going to do now. That's black, so turn this into a selection layer. Where's my, it's floating around up here. I'm going to make it a select, oops, that's the wrong thing. Here's a selection layer. And so now I put that I merge. Oh, yeah. Oh, no. I didn't want to do that. Don't do that. Let's drop and delete. Drop and delete. That's the better way to do it. All right. So black. Oh, that's gonna be blacks for that. Here we gonna do the blacks for this one. Let's get our lasso tool. Set for add, yes. Now his suit. And that's all that's going to be black in this panel. And in this panel, nothing's going to be black. And in this panel, nothing's going to be black, if I'm not mistaken. Because this panel is supposed to... well, you know, it can't hurt, right? I say it can't hurt. You probably don't know what I'm doing. Oops. What I mean by it can't hurt, well, what I mean by it can't hurt is that if I decide to make this black, I can. More importantly, or more to the point, if I decide to make this black, I can do it quickly and find out if that's what I want. That's what I mean to say. Whereas if I don't bother, it'll take a little bit of just a little bit more effort. Now, now, these are all, again, the point here is to make selections out of this so that these big areas don't have to be reselected. Little things can be recolored and experimented with, but we do want the blacks to be able to. We want to be, I know I'm going to experiment. Well, whatever. Let's see. Where am I here? Oh yeah, selection. So I create the selection layer, drop the selection layer, delete the unused selection layer. Make the selection layer invisible. Go to the selection layer and use my select all shortcut and go to the black layer in my Craftone folder and color the horse black. And because we have these big selection areas, we can turn off the sensitivity, the brush size sensitivity, and increase the brush size thusly. And now we can hit that horse and make him probably blacker than our inks. Well, look what we forgot to do. We'll have to delete that, go back to our selection layer, grab our selection pen, turn its sensitivity on, make it much smaller, and get in here because we don't want these. Well, one, let's see. Subtract. Oh, can't. Gotta do. Let's see. Let's see. We want to subtract. There we go. Oh, I guess now that it is a selection layer, there's only one way to do it, and that's to forget about this. Go back to lasso. Go to my brush, my regular old brush, get that size down, turn on the sensitivity, and use invisible pixels to paint out that and 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 that. Now, when we select everything and hide it and go to the black layer and get the proper brush and paint everything with the color, Now, may as well do this and this. And we are experimenting with the idea of this. I know what I'm going to do there, though. Now that we have all that done, we can now go to our luminosity setting and get that set pretty high. We'll try 60. That's not low enough. How about 40? Wow. What about only 20? Okay, I would say only 20 is pretty good, but only 20 matches the background, which is not what we want at all. $50. Let's do 45. All right, 45. Oh, okay. I'm going to say yes, but there's another thing that I'm going to do, and that is go back to the selection layer, use the selection. I'm going to unhide the selection so we can get a better idea. I'm going to use blue, see if I can get something more out of this. I'm going to get the size up, turn off the sensitivity. Alright, now that looks terrible, but we're not done. We're gonna go, we're gonna duplicate that, drop it, delete the remaining layer, and change our luminosity to very high, 80%. There. Now we have an interesting color. And what we might want to do let's try going 90. Yeah. Let's turn off the oh, that's no good. Alright, well just let's go back down to like 30. So we definitely don't want that. I don't want that. So we're gonna go back up to 75. It's very blue. I think I might want that. 80. I mean, it looks pretty good like that. If we turn it off, I can't say that that looks terrible. But what does look terrible is this. We can't have that. Yeah, what if we take some emphasis off this wagon by going like this? Go in here and cut the black, the blue out of that. Oh, it's a tricky process there, folks. Oh my, what did I just do? I know what I just did. Go to this. Go in here. Goodbye. Yeah, I think that will work. Let's see, what about the wheels? I think we'll get rid of the wheels too. Yeah, that puts all the focus on the horse, him, and yeah, okay, so I'm gonna go with that. Now, on our black layer, we're gonna cut out this. And we're on our black layer, we're on our blue layer. Let's cut out the blue on this one. Let's put it back. I'm struggling here. What should I do? This is the black layer. Oh, let's cut out the blue, the black. And then it's just blue. Oh, what if we get really crazy? A little bit more creative and go like that. I think we can live with that. Let's get rid of this one. Whoops, whoops, whoops. Oh, look what we didn't. Oh, yeah, I was gonna get creative with this. Oh, this blue is not there. Shoot. What am I gonna do? Oh, I know exactly what to do. Alright, this blue is here. This blue. Let's see, I'm trying to think, what am I doing? What have I gotten myself into? There's blue. Or the black. Alright, we're gonna go with that, except for one thing. We have to make a new blue layer. Use the blue, get the size down. cyan, multiply. I didn't make the correct kind of layer. Okay. This is no good. We mustn't have that. Now we control duplicate, drop, excise. We can just match that. 60, 75. 75 is fine. We'll leave it at that. So there are only a couple of other little things here. Actually, this page is almost finished being colored, really, if you can believe it. So, so we gotta drop this, and so this is, yeah. My big thing about oh, yes, I do believe we're going to have to in order to make this work, we've got to go back to our black layer, duplicate it, delete what's on it. Wait a minute, let's see. Let's make sure that's what we want to do. Yeah, too black is too black. We just don't want it. So delete what's on that layer. Get into here. Grab our black fill. Make sure we have it selected. Go to 17. Oh. I don't want to over. I don't want to over. Hmm. Oh, I'm trying to think here. I don't want to over color. Oh, I know. It doesn't have to be over colored. No. Yes. Blah, blah, blah. Let's try. All we can do is this. The problem with the coloring phase is that mistakes are going to be made. And I have just made one, and I think it's gonna be fine. Oh, this could be blue. How about we get this and we go like this, and then we go over here and we get our sensitivity. I should have made, oh, this is gonna look better than it does now. But I gotta get it done first, and then it'll look pretty good, I think. We shall see, we shall see. So that's like that, and I want to make sure this is gone. That's important. That's real important. Not really, but we're going to make it important. Okay, now that we've done that, we're going to luminosity, and we're going to set it to 75. And then maybe 65. I would say that that's a little bit more variety than I actually want, but I think it'll be muted once I put the real touches on this anyway. It'll be quite muted, I'm pretty sure. Alright. We'll say okay to that. Now this here, I think what I better do, just in case, I better use my shrink selection tool. Oh, let's make sure we have everything on this layer to make a separate selection layer. So we will make a selection layer. We'll hide it. We're gonna have to name this one. Wagon. We'll call that wagon. We'll just call this blacks. Now, so now this one here can be dropped and committed to. There has to, oops, I don't need, yeah, I don't need to do that. I always want an extra one, so we'll duplicate and delete. Alright, now, oh, what happened to my horse's eye? I never deleted that. Well, there's two things we gotta do. We gotta go here, lasso, and go to black, and delete that. Go to the right black layer and delete that. And then go to the blue layer and delete that. And then, what more do we have to do? I believe there's more. Let's see. I believe there's more. I was gonna do something when I realized that. Wish I could remember what it was. Oh yeah, let's see. So there's nothing there. Oh, the blue. The blue. Yep, we're gonna have to commit to the blue as well. Drop it. What's on this layer? Nothing. Right, so goodbye. Not that anyone who might have peeked in has any idea what this really means, but you don't want more than 2 layers in your Craftone process, or in my Craftone process. I don't want more than 2 layers, which means we're doing a lot of committing. One of the troubles with digital work is that you don't have to commit, but if you don't commit, you end up in a tricky situation where you haven't committed to anything, and when is it done? And why do you need all these pieces? All right, we have done these things. I think it's time to go to the red now, because I think we're done with blacks. There aren't going to be any blacks in this panel, and there are going to be reds, and so let's get those reds going. Let's collapse the black. Let's collapse the cyan. Let's open the red and get some reds going here. This is going to be red. This is going to be red. Red might be the wrong color to even use, but these things are supposed to be red in daylight. They may be more of a purple in this particular image, but nonetheless, I'm calling them the reds because red is the color we're going to use predominantly to color these. Although I say predominantly, I should say that when you're doing this kind of coloring, your yellow is every bit as important as your red. Indeed, blue, I should say cyan, is extremely important to the color red. You may not know that, but it's true. And that's why I'm leaving the blue here, because the blue is going to give our reds that deep, that rich taste that we want. I did the same thing with this one that I did last time. I'm going to have to fix that. So those reds are selected. Oh no! Luckily we can undo. This is red. And this little bit is red. And here we have red, and as we can see, the blue is not there. But luckily for us, we have this bright light thing going here. So that's supposed to change things fundamentally, which is okay. Anyway, you've heard me say these things. Now, so red, red, red. I believe there was something I had in mind. Oh yes, selection layer. Oh, what did I forget to do? Oh, I see. Okay, so I'm going to make a selection layer out of this. I'll call it reds. I might break it out later. We can hide it. We must go to our black layer. I keep forgetting what it is I saw that I didn't like. What is it that I saw that I didn't like? What is it that I saw that I didn't like? What is it that I saw that I didn't like? This thing. I have to go in here, paint it, paint it, paint it black. change its luminosity to, I believe it's 80%. No, that's too much. 70. That's too much. 60. I think 60 ought to do it. Let's go 40. Whoa. 20? It can't hurt. Now, there's our red. We got our red here. We're going to use the red. Magenta. Not red, magenta. And we're going to go like, whoops. Let's get our selection going. Now we do it. Whoop. Turn this off. Alright, that's red. Now before we do anything, we gotta go to yellow. Turn the black, close the black folder, go to yellow. Get yellow. Not red. Yellow. See, yellow turns it red. Yellow is the secret ingredient to bright red. Blue is the secret ingredient to deep reds. But also, so now we get this so we can see them real good. Let's hide. I better just deselect it. Let's go and see what we can do with our luminosity. Oh, here's what we got to do. At this point, we're going to experiment. So we're going to duplicate we. I keep talking about we. I'm going to duplicate the yellow layer, hide one of them. I'm going to duplicate the red layer and hide one of those. So now I'm going to experiment with these and experiment with the colors. So we'll go the yellow and change the luminosity. I don't and you can see we lose the redness, right? Get more of a we'll go 30 for now. That's still nice and red. But what about the saturation? Yeah, see now it turns more of a deep, 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 deep red. We'll go -10 saturation and 30. Although I shouldn't mess with the saturation. I'm not going to. I'm gonna leave that. Luminosity could come down only about 20% for yellow. But for red, it's definitely going to have to come down more, I feel, because it's too strong, right? So we might even use the saturation. But no. Well, we might. Let's go 0. Luminosity. Okay, yeah. If I take this up like 45, now I have to take the yellow down. The yellow's got to come. Oops, I'm sorry. Brighter. Yeah. See, up here, up at this end, we get more of a purplish. Hmm. I'm not sure if there's only one way to really see if that's what we want. We don't. I don't really want that. Let's try getting rid of the yellow. Yeah. See. Okay. That's what the problem is. I want a purplish look, and I got too much yellow in there. So let's try really amping it up. Okay, let's get rid of the yellow altogether. Delete this layer. Show this layer. Delete what's on it. Yeah, see how that's nice and purpley? Maybe a little too purple. Let's go to the... Let's go... Let's delete this layer. Show this layer. And get some serious... Yeah. $70. $50. We'll go with 50 for now. We'll get the yellow back. Make sure we can see it. Go to the reds. Select those. Make that go away. Go back to yellow. Make sure we have our yellow pen. Get that yellow back in there. Turn this off. And then now, way too orange, but we're going to fix that. Get this up to 75. Boy, it's really doing a number. There we go. But what happens if we... 90. So that might be overkill. Maybe we don't even need the yellow. Let's find out this way. It just adds just a little bit of... I'm going to leave it. I'm going to leave it. What's next? Next is... let's see. If anything could be more fun than putting in the reds, it would be bringing it all together. I forgot another thing. Let's go to our blues. Not blues, but cyan. Get in here and cut this out because this is supposed to be white, just like his shoe and his collar. And also, let's cut out his eyes. Goodbye. And let's cut out his eyes here. Goodbye. Now, see, now it's starting to come together a little bit. Would you agree? It's already cut out there. Now we go with some real fun. Duplicate the yellow. Delete what's on the yellow layer. Not that the... Oh, wait a minute. Let's undelete it. It's just a little bit more darker. Delete it. And go for, yeah. Blue. Do you know what blue and yellow make? Yes. They make green. And we are going to use a 15 size and turn our sensitivity back on and put the green back in to this fellow. Hey, autosave. Oh, how about full save? Control S. Okay, so now our fellow is nice and green. Now, what we should do is make a selection layer for his face. But I think we might be so... Well, let's just do this. Oops. Almost. Oh no, we gotta try this. Oop, come on. Okay, buddy, it's time for your greenness. Let's get that yellow going. And we'll turn off sensitivity and turn the brush size up so we can just go blam. Now, that certainly looks great, but I really have a feeling that I would prefer it to be less saturated? Less saturated. Although that looks great. Maybe it should be that saturated. Well, let's do this. Let's get our sensitivity back in so we can color this. Let's see, what are we doing? We're on the yellow. We've got yellow. Oh, get rid of that. Against my better judgment, there's supposed to be a certain sloppiness to this. Alright, but that's too saturated. Let's go 30, and we can go much higher. 45. That's not much higher. 60 will be there. Now we're talking about sort of the saturation is it's still the same look. Well, let's try going even higher, just because. Not enough. 60. I think we'll settle with that. And basically, these panels are now done. There's one problem with the blue, and that is that we can go to our blue and paint with invisible pixels and get this like this. What about what about I don't even know if I'm going to stick with this kind of stylistic stuff. Let's see, is there anything on this layer? Blue, cyan, I mean? No, and there shouldn't be. And now the question is, what is going on this layer? Well, I'll tell you. We're going to grab some blue. We're going to use the actual color. We're going to go like this. Let's make the brush smaller. Okay, we duplicate, drop, delete, H for hue, saturation, luminosity, get it at 75, maybe even 80. Okay, we go to yellow. We're going to have to commit to the yellow, drop it, go up to the yellow, put some yellow, make sure we're using yellow, drop the size, get some yellow going here, and this is going to be brightened up quite a bit. $75. All right. All right, it's time for this panel now. So that's going to be, the hair is going to be, we know what the hair is going to be. It's going to be yellow. These colors are all going to be very basic, most likely. So I shouldn't have too much, this shouldn't take very long. That's going to be yellow. Make sure I've got additive, move this. Hmm? Okay, I guess it's getting late. Let's see, let's make this yellow. Let's color this. Let's get the size up. Oh, is this yellow has been committed, right? That's gonna be yellow. For now, there's nothing on this layer but that, right? Look at the rest of it. I don't see any changes. Let's take this yellow and I believe that's the only, oh, there will be more yellow. Let's, yeah, matter of fact, Matter of fact, I'm going to sign off. I'm going to leave this like this. This blue should be nothing there. Oh, there it is. Okay, drop the blue. This yellow is in the hand, yes. I'm going to have to take this yellow and come on, where's your cut and paste? Now I can drop this yellow, delete that layer. This is the new yellow layer. So now I can close all that. I will leave this open so I remember that I left off on the yellow layer. In fact, I'm just going to make it green, although that's not going to help. I got so many colors here. Use no color. Whoops, no. Use no color. I'm just going to have to leave that open like that. I'll know what I'm doing. I'm going to sign off now. I'm almost done with this. Tomorrow will be another night. Control S.